My name is Vlatka Petrovic. I'm the head of the Technology Transfer Office at the University of Zagreb. I'm also a coordinator of Eit Health Hub here in Croatia, and I will give a very short introduction to the Eit Health activities, both on the European level and in Croatia. And then afterwards, we have a very exciting program with the keynote speaker, and then later on with the panel. And in between, we will have a session, which will be a chance for you to meet each other and also to discuss some topics. We don't have any changes to the program, but we do have a small change to the speaker list. So unfortunately, Vlatko Boric could not join us due to some health reasons. It's not COVID, but still, you know, he sends his apologies. He cannot be well with us this afternoon. But let's start. Let me see if I can share my screen and then give you a little bit of an introduction into the Eit Health activities. Right. Can you please confirm if you can see my? Yes. All right. That's really great. So just briefly, you know, to let you know what the Eit Health is and why are we running this school and some other activities. So Eit Health is really a knowledge innovation community. It is a community that is supported by the EIT, which is the European Institute of Knowledge Innovation, and it's one of the several thematic community which are organized, you know, to address a specific topic. So you have Eit Health, but you also have Eit Manufacturing, you have Eit Climate, and so on and so forth. So the mission of Eit Health, it's really, you know, joining together, to join all the innovation actors together with the aim to create healthy lives for the citizens in Europe. And when I say community, this is a very important point because this is actually a public-private partnership. So EIT, as a European body, is co-funding and supporting the activities, but the activities are also being supported by partners. And partners, you know, we have them from all over Europe. They contribute in terms of, you know, the thematic priorities. They contribute also in terms of financial support and in terms of all the network and all the know-how and strengths that they have. And they really can cover jointly all these healthcare, very important healthcare areas. So these are, you can see some of the logos, but really they are you know, public institutions such as universities, such as institute, but also very much so different you know, healthcare companies in the healthcare space, whether it's pharma, whether it's medtech, and so on. So in addition to that, there is this special scheme which is called the Regional Innovation Scheme. And it's really, you know, set up to help to bring those regions of Europe that are considered, you know, emerging or moderate innovators closer to the main, I would say, network of Eit Health, and really to engage local innovators into programs that are offered by the Eit Health. And as you can see, we have hubs from different countries, and we, University of Zagreb, were one of these hubs, and we are the Eit Health Hub for Croatia. So you know, how does Eit Health support innovators and entrepreneurship? There is quite a lot of programs. And I will not be able to go into them into much detail. For example, for if you are interested in acceleration programs, I hope you have also registered for our session on Wednesday. Then we will have a speaker from the Eit Health Business Creation team who will going to talk about all these, you know, different programs in more detail. What I'm going to say now that it's really this acceleration or you know, startups / spin-off support program is very extensive. It covers different phases from the very early stage, from, you know, just team joining. You have a team, but you have an idea, but you don't necessarily have a very defined business, you know, plan or a business strategy, and then going, you know, towards more mature companies towards the end who are looking for really serious rounds of investment, or companies who are already on the market but are looking to expand into different markets. So it's a very, very extensive range. On top of that, there is another financial scheme which is offered locally. So it's offered in all of these innovation scheme countries. And it really covers the innovation development in a very important stage, and this is proof of concept stage. So you have to be at the beginning of the proof of concept stage to come in. It supports really SME collaboration with, whether it can be an academia, it can be a healthcare provider like a hospital, or it can be a research institute. And idea is to really have a very dedicated, focused project that doesn't last very long, and that really bridges this very important stage. So for this year, the call deadline is on the 18th of December. So if you are interested, please look into this, and you can also contact us about this. And I think my colleague, we can put a link because there is no link on the slide. So Anna Branka, if you can please put a link to this funding program into the chat so people can see. So on top of that, there is quite a lot of local activities which are, meant to connect the community together. I will not go into detail, but really inspirational talks. So this is something that is offered on for the entire country, all the different countries, so the entire region, or something that we are organizing locally in Croatia. But different hubs in different countries are organizing their own events. And this is the specific innovation challenge. So specific innovation challenge, and basically the idea is to have a competition between the teams who will learn more about the data science uses in pharmaceutical industry, who will learn more about niches that they can address, market needs that they can address, and who can propose solutions and gain feedbacks from industry and from data science experts. So this activity is going to be, starting very soon. Our registrations are in progress, and if you are interested, please also register for that. And with that in mind, I will stop this very, very short presentation. I hope that it was interesting to you, that you have gotten an introduction into the Eit Health programs and opportunities that they can offer. If you have any questions, please post them in the chat. And this applies not just to my specific talk, but also to the other speakers. And then after the session, after the speaker is finishes, after the session is over, we can ask those questions at the end. So please go ahead, ask your questions in the chat throughout, and we will be looking at those questions, and we'll be able to then pose them to the speakers. So with that in mind, I want to introduce our first speaker, so our keynote speaker, who is with us, and I think he is. Yes, all right. So the camera is on. Hello. So we have Ognjen Bagatin with us. Ognjen Bagatin is CEO of the Bagatin Clinic, and his background, or his academic background, is business in management. So his degree is from the Faculty of Economics at the University of Zagreb. He also has an MBA degree, and he's going to talk us about leadership in healthcare, something that I think he's a very good person to talk about his own example. When he joined the Bagatin Clinic, it was a very small family business operation, and he has really helped grow it from like a 2-person team to, I think it's a big business, 70 employees, international markets. So very, very exciting journey that he was instrumental into really creating. So Ognjen has a very a lot to share, and I will give the mic to him, and then please ask questions, and we can have a small discussion afterwards. Ognjen, please go on.
Thank you, Vlatka, and great presentation and everything you guys do. So I had a chance to work with the EIT on some project, and I think it's great that you guys are here. Let me just share my presentation, and then please let me know if everything's okay. We're here? Great. Okay, we have 40 minutes. I'll try to keep this in 35, so we have some time for Q&A at the end. So leadership for health and innovation. This is something that I learned through my doing business in healthcare. and importance of high-tech and high-touch approach. So both matters. So just something about myself. So co-owner Biocenter Clinic. I'm also consultant for more than 20 clinics throughout Europe for health management, but also medical tourism. Also, this is my hobby. This is something I'm also passionate about. I'm owner of Entrepreneur magazine here in Croatia and organizer of Entrepreneurial Mindset Conference. And for this topic, very important, co-organizer of European Patient Experience and Innovation Congress together with Cleveland Clinic. So this is how my how does it look like to, for us and as a clinic, as a hospital to succeed. So success comes when you put patient first, when you work on your employees and you surrounded everything with digital transformation. This is something that is necessary for any organization to grow. Is this easy? Of course, it's not. But just because it's hard, it makes it a competitive advantage for any clinic, any hospital, any institution that goes this way. And what I'm going to talk about today is high-tech approach. So importance of patient choice opinion and patient-first approach. I think this is a mixture of this gives you easier way to success. So just to talk about patient choice. So patient choice is evolving in the last, I would say 200,000 years. So 200,000 years, we had Homo sapiens that try to heal themselves by using something from nature. So leaves and something else. 20,000 years ago, people then were looking for the gods and praying to them to help them heal themselves. And this is continuing also. The both ways are continuing till now. 2,000 years ago, we started to look at a human to help him or her heal us as well. And it's still working at the moment. So we have doctors and whatnot. And 20 years ago, very important because we're talking about data today, we came into a time of datism. So this changed everything. So the friend that helped me and my business partner, Daniel Scholl from Global Clinic Ratings, he said, like you can see, without data, you're just another patient, doctor, or business person with opinion. And what happened in those 20 years that I'm talking about? So we got from zero to mass adoption of technology. Let's just imagine, so 2000, when it was 2000, when you wanted to go somewhere and travel, less than 1% of us were using internet to book their travel. We used travel agencies. Now, 20 years later, 96% plus are using internet or something digital to book their room or app or whatnot. Also, let's just imagine book choice. So less than 1% in 2000 were using internet to buy books or do some kind of research. Now, according to Amazon, who really use this opportunity, 51% of all searches for researching for books or buying a book is done by internet. Very interesting as well. So dating choice. So we're 2000, less than 1% of us were trying to find their life partners through internet, and 2020, 37%, in China, even 52%. And this is a very big impact of technology on our lives. And this is something that's happening all around us. And you can see through all these examples here. And this is unstoppable. So we need to understand how to use all this. But what about healthcare? So healthcare was let's say, one of the most popular searching on internet in 2000. So together with gambling, terrorism, porn, and whatnot, but we were searching, 80% of us were searching on internet for healthcare. So how to heal ourselves, or how to get to doctor or clinic or hospital. 2020, we had 81% of us looking for a healthcare on the line. So what is this trend is showing to us? It's showing that in 2025, probably healthcare won't be our choice at all. So we're going into time of transhumanism. So time of AI recommendations. This is something that we use multiple times every day for something else. So how to get to somewhere, GPS. So I traveled from Split to Zagreb today. I used GPS, and it showed me the best route to come here where I'm now. So what to watch? Netflix shows you what will be best for you to watch according to your something that you watched before. What to buy? So e-commerce, web shops, Amazon is suggesting all the time recommendation what to buy, who to connect with. So LinkedIn, Facebook, and whatnot. So we're using this all the time. So what about healthcare? So according to this Philips Future Health Index, this is a percentage of people who currently use recommendation from digital health technology or mobile health apps. Just to show you, so when my wife was having our third baby, she was using an app that shows her, according to contraction that she had need to go urgently to hospital. And this is something that is used all over the world, not for searching for clinics and doctors, but for any other recommendation. And I don't know if you know this term. It's called GAFA. So Google, Amazon, Facebook, Apple, and Microsoft. These guys are going into the healthcare sector and health tech very aggressively. They want to be trend centers in everything they do, because they have all the data from their users. And like you can see this here, this is Amazon, healthcare built around you, Facebook, Apple, Microsoft. This shows like slogans of some kind of hospitals that you can see around you. And not just these guys. So a lot of other guys will go into the healthcare sector because it's a big business. Just in US, 20% of all GDP is related to healthcare. So usually, especially before 2019, when I was speaking somewhere in healthcare internationally, there was I would say, elderly audience, and I was trying to convince them that this is not a threat, this is evolution. And it really is a evolution, and it's unstoppable. The good thing for all of us, it's still in the beginning, and there's no need to be afraid. We can still catch everybody, and we understand what this will do to healthcare system. So just imagine with what is happening now, this digital transformation and whatnot. So if all of us knew that in 1990 something, we know that internet was happening, what would we do? Will we just let inertia do its thing, or you will start researching this and understanding the technologies that are coming? I'm pretty sure you would do much better than we did before internet happened and the internet boom came. So what I recommend for all the clinics, hospitals, all institutions. We need to be ready and get ready for a time where recommendation will not be choice of the patient through AI. So no matter are you big clinic, small clinic, this is a next battlefield that you need to work. We need to work on. So how does clinics, hospitals get AI recommended? So this is a battlefield of the future. So by collecting outcomes, not just testimonials, reviews, and whatnot, collecting outcomes and publishing those outcomes. So this is something that will help all those platforms that we're gonna go into the healthcare to get you on top. And this is important because the best way to predict your future is to create it, of course. So after this just a high-tech approach, something that we nurture in Poliklinika Bagatin is a patient-first approach. So the skills that you need in healthcare in 21st centuries are how do you approach your patients, communication, hospitality, and bedside manners. It's how you behave with somebody when he has a tough time. So I would like to help with this. So I was 5 years ago, I was researching this topic, and I wanted to find something that we as a clinic can get on top with. And something that really was sticking out there was hospitality. So I began the journey into researching this, which started with the first step. And I went to Australia to visit 8 biggest hospitals that are very fond of this patient experience approach. And I came into the hospital called HSS Hospital, when I was really amazed how they treat their patients, how they treat their employees, and what's not. And I asked them, asked them how did they came with this approach, because in every room they have 400 people employed. In every room, even an OR, you have this, as you can see, patient first. That's their motto. So they have everywhere patient first. And asked them how did they come up with it. They said they didn't come up with this. They had one of their doctors going to Cleveland Clinic for a year, and he was so amazed with this approach. So I read all the books they published about this topic, and find out they have a chief experience officer. And chief experience officer, Dr. Adrienne Boyce, her job is to improve and optimize patient experience. But to do that, first, she needs to improve and optimize physician and nurses' experience. Because if physicians and nurses don't have everything they need to work with, they can improve and optimize patient experience. So that's why you need to put your patient first, and then work on experience of your staff as well. So what they do, they work on better communication with the doctors and nurses and doctors and reception, nurses and reception, doctors and patients, nurses and patients and whatnot. Better cooperation between departments. This is something that always need to work on. So if they cooperate better, then the patient will get better results and outcomes, and better design of the whole organization. And they're really doing amazing job. So I found out that Tomislav Mihaljevic, so of Croatian, is a CEO of Cleveland Clinic. They employ 68,000 personnel staff. So I went there to visit him. I did a lot of meetings with him. This is Dr. Škugor, he's Croatian as well, to see how I can teach my team to be on this level. So we also wanted to bring this to Croatia. So 2020 in March, unfortunately, we wanted to do a European Patient Experience and Innovation Congress together with the Cleveland Clinic. Fortunately, Corona stopped us, but it won't stop this project, because I really think that patient experience and innovation in this patient experience part will be the future of everything that we do. So we also are having a nice event on December 1st about high-tech, high-touch approach, two amazing speakers, just to see why this is important. So everything I researched in this, let's say 5 years, helped me to get to this point. So to get to these 7 laws of patient experience. So this is something that I usually share with everybody I work with and wherever I teach. And the 0.0 law for me is to have a mission and vision. Vision is to know where you're going, where you want to be in 5 and 10 years. And mission is how you're going to get there. And into this mission and vision, you need to place patient experience. You need to write it down. So whenever you do in those 5-10 years, that you always, any decision needs to be connected with this mission and vision that you do. So you don't go end up in a wild goose chase when you don't know where you're going and how you're going to get there. So mission and vision with this patient experience implemented in it, it's a compass and a map with your guidelines to success, because you can't hit the target you can't see. So you do this mission, a vision with this excellent service, or mission with the also focus on patient, focusing on employee development, and then you work on your values, and values create a culture. So this is, let's say, first point. But this is just the beginning. Then you need to execute on this mission and vision, execute on this patient experience KPIs that you will make. So you need to know where you're going, vision, how you're going to get there, mission, and then what you're going to do first, second, third, and the most important thing, what you're not going to do at all. And that's called an action plan. So you need to work on your strategy. We all heard about this term. And into this strategy, you need to place pillars for client experience, for employee development, for innovation and technology. And this is something that you need to put as a pillars of your future growth. But don't ever forget who needs to be in the middle. Everything you do needs to be connected with patient focus. Now you have this vision, mission, strategy, and now you need to have something measurable. You need to have some KPIs, key performance indicators, for this patient experience and whatever you do. You need to have something to measure, because what gets measured gets done. What gets measured can get improved. And a lot of KPIs that we follow in our clinic is through MedCRM, so Customer Relationship Management System, which is bloodstream of any organization. So all the knowledge about your clients and your business process is in this CRM. It's an overall monitoring of patient journey from call centers to follow up and the whole circle. With the implemented AI solutions, of course, and very important to understand that how this CRM, how this technology helps and helped us. So we're using 8 years CRM, last 2 years MedCRM. So it's there for doctors. It's a cheat sheet with all the information about their clients, so they can develop a better relationship with their clients. Then, if the doctors develop better relationship with their clients, that will result with clients, patients feeling like they're unique or like they're treated as a royalty. And management, they get all the reports automatically or semi-automatically through the CRM with strategic, tactical, and operational planning and execution support. This is something that supports this, let's say, innovation, this technology supports progress in patient experience in our clinic, but in a lot of others as well. This is just one KPI that helps improving patient experience is waiting time in the clinic. So we have a 10 minutes, let's say, cap, and whenever, and we will do this for every location that we have, but also for every doctor or nurse in our system. If somebody has the patient waiting for 25 minutes, then we starting to work on this process so they can get better in doing this. Also, for improving patient experience is to have monitoring of service quality through online satisfaction questionnaire after first visit. It's automatically done through our CRM. Then after each visit to our clinic, if it's other consultation or it's some treatment or operation, you get a questionnaire and where we follow how we're doing on this list. So every time you come, we need to get your satisfaction measured. And for me, the most important thing is this is objective. Way to measure everything you do is through mystery shopping. So we do 1 up to 4 or 5 times quality analysis of all departments and services. So from call center, reception, operation, nurses, and we get 6 to 10 page a document which shows us whether we're doing good and what things need to be improved. So we share all this information, all this data with all of our employees. So everything is transparent, that all our organization is learning through this data. And when you measure this, then everybody wants to do a better and better service with time. Like it says here, you want to do such an amazing job that patients or clients want to bring their friends to your place. And next slide. Another law is grow your people, grow yourself. To me, also very important. And for this, I would say the most important business department in any organization is HR, so human resources. Why? Because people are your greatest strength. Only people get more value with time. Everything else lose value. So infrastructure, IT, medical devices, they lose value with time, but only people gain value. And this is important. You need to invest in your team because they are your greatest strength and something that helps improve patient experience. To get this team, this is something that helped us and helped a lot of clinics I've consulted through the years. So what people you want to hire? So this is five things it would be great that they have. So great in what they do. They take responsibility. They're positive and really nice people, have good relationship with others, and behave equally even when nobody's watching. So this is amazing. If you find these people, hire them immediately. So this is very hard to find, but this is just as a compass for your HR team when recruiting new people. The better you do in this part, it will be easier for you later. Because later you need to develop them, develop your management team first. Doctors, definitely, you need to work on them even every week. And then educate everybody in your team, everybody with where you're going, so the vision, mission, strategy, values. This is something that they need to work at least once a month or minimum once every 2 months if you want to really get ahead and have a great culture. So if you do this, if you develop your people like this, then you will not just have a best service, but legendary, as Sam Walton states here. Then you need to appreciate your clients, your patients. You need to respect them, cherish them, understand them. Why is this important? Because we all have only one boss. It's our customer. It's our patient. So if he can fire us whenever he wants, or just by going to another clinic or hospital. And that's why we always need to be on top of their mind and know that we are there for them. This is some of the brands that helped me develop patient experience in our clinic. So Cleveland Clinic, like I mentioned before, but also Ritz-Carlton and Disney Institute. So this is some of the books I've read, but not just, this is just one of, and which you can share for service industry. This is really amazing tips and tricks. So the new gold standard for Ritz-Carlton, creating magic for Disney. This is really, you get so many ideas after reading this book. It's unbelievable. And all this book about communication and Cleveland Clinic way that I stated here. So then you need to, when you develop, you need to train and get in shape your operations. So there can be no great patient experience, hospitality without great processes. You always need to find a way how to do something better, faster, more productive for your people, but also for your patients. Something that helps us in this process is international certification and accreditation, which help us to get minimal standards beyond we don't go. So accreditation really helped us in this matter, because we want to have courage to recognize this threat that killed more organization and slowed down more institutions than anything before. Just by not doing something because we always done it this way. I'm pretty sure you all know what I'm talking about here. So you don't get too busy doing the old way, just not using the new, better ideas, digital transformation thing that can help you improve your business. And this is something that it's happening all around us. And that's why a lot of institutions, a lot of organizations, a lot of clinics, hospitals don't grow, because they don't use new technologies that improve the employee satisfaction, but also patient experience. So continuous improvement, 1% every day, every week, every month is something that all of our organization, we need to be these leaders that we're gonna try to walk the talk and try to improve so everybody around us can improve. Also, one great book, whoever is in healthcare knows, and in digital healthcare knows that everything is changing. So the doctor, time of the doctor being the king is shifting to the patient being king. And this book is great to understand this. So the patient will see you now. So the patient will want to see the doctors when they want it and through every media or channel they want it. And we need to make sure they get it. So this is something that is already happening, and in the future it will be more so. So we need to understand that what got us here, all of us, won't get us to the next level. I mean, we need to find a way how to add value on each step of the patient journey we have, and try to thrill and delight. Also important in patient experience and anything else. So it's a branding of this, but also how you communicate. So you need to build your brand. You need to talk about what you do about the patient experience. And everything you do is branding. So even if you don't do something, it also shows something about your brand. So if you do, this is something that we do in our clinic, but everything that you guys do or you don't do shows something about your brand and lifts value of your brand or is lowering your brand value. Especially now in digital media, so how active you are and everything you do. Something that is the best ingredient for your brand is your team. So how your people, how they walk, talk, how they dress, how they communicate with themselves, how they communicate with your clients. Everything they do can lift or lower your brand value. So you need to work on them all the time. And this is something that also shows a lot. So how socially responsible you are as an organization, and is this something that you nurture? So do you care just about your institution, or you helping others as well? And seventh, our main topic is there's no substitution for leadership. And I will say how I usually teach leadership is by two ways. One is lead by example, and other is building a system, so lead by the design. So first, so lead by example. So just imagine that, why is this important? So just imagine that I come into a leadership meeting and I say to my team, so from now on, there's no personal phone calls or using mobile phones during the office hours. And then I get a call and my friend, my wife, and we talk about 30 minutes, what are we gonna do for the weekend? What will everybody do later? The same as me. So whenever somebody calls, they will pick it up. So you can have laws, whatnot, but if you're not doing this, your team will not do it as well. So walk the talk. You need to work on your integrity so your team can have integrity as well. And the other is lead by design. So build a system through leaders. So if you want to build a system for patient experience, you need to not create followers, you need to create leaders that they teach more leaders about this, but not just patient experience, but for innovation, for everything you do in your institutions. So you always need to think about what will happen if I'm not around. So I get sick, I get in a car crash, will the company work without me, or whatever you do? So this is how leaders think. So when are leaders most needed? In crisis or prosperity? It's a question, but I will say they're always needed. So we have in crisis different types of leadership, and in prosperity different kinds of leadership. In the Chinese, we have a sign that states that crisis is also danger, but opportunity as well. So how do these leaders look like? What is color of their eyes? How tall are them? What is their gender? How tall are them? And so on. So we can find them everywhere, in sports, in politics, in business, so everywhere. But also, a lot of leaders are in our families. So all mothers and fathers are leaders, because to your children, you can say whatever you want, but they will only see what you do. So if you're not walking the talk with them, they will copy everything you guys do. So if you want to change your children, you need to change yourself first. So are leaders born, or are they being created? So Peter Drucker said this nicely. So there are natural born leaders, but there's so few of them. there's not a big difference in this world. So you don't go to doctors and say congratulate to when you're giving a birth, and doctor says congratulations, you got a leader. So you need to work on them. You need to develop. You need to create your leaders and develop them by working on themselves, by continuous improvement, and with time they become more capable and more experienced with everything they do. These are some of the obstacles for not being a leader: is laziness, apologies, shifting responsibilities to others, not accepting criticism and feedback. I know there's not in our group, there's not these kind of people, but in some groups there are. So if you want to skip this, if you want to be the leader, you need to skip this obstacle. So, but there is one precondition to be a leader. If anybody read the book 7 Habits of Highly Successful People, there Stephen Covey said that being proactive is taking responsibility for your life. So if you, that means that everything you do or you don't do affects what's going to happen and or won't happen. So you're responsible for everything you do by doing something or not doing something. Of course, there's always some higher power that is important, but a lot of things depends on us. So we don't, when something happened, don't have excuses about my mom, the dad, husband, wife, crisis, politicians, friends, colleagues, clients, suppliers, buyers, anything else. So it's always something that we can do or not do for something to happen or not happen. And just want to share with you some of the differences between being a boss and a leader. As you can see, it's a boss says to their team what to do, and leader is leading the way. So as you can see, the boss is using their employees, and leader is growing their employees, their team. And just a second. Okay, sorry. Boss criticize you when you fail, leader help you to get on top. Boss says, I did it, and leader say, we did it. Boss knows how it's done, leader shows you how it's done and then helps you go through it. Boss criticize you after you fail in plan A, and leader has always a plan B, C, D, E, F, G, and whatnot for any situation. Boss commands, leader asks, and boss says go, leader say let's go. This is something that really helped me in my personal development to understand what I need to do to be better, and what I as an example need to do to help my team be better as well. So being a leader, is it easy or is it hard? I would say it's very hard, and it's a habit. So you need to change your paradigm and do new paradigm and new habits, develop new habits. So a lot of people even try to work on themselves and become a leader, but they quit because it's hard. And I hope that you guys will understand this and become the best leader you can. So how do you yourself can start being a leader? By there's 5 things you can do. You can work on yourself, then you can work on yourself, work on yourself, work on yourself, work on yourself. And so reading books, going to this kind of lectures, lecturing others, getting a coach, getting a mentor, being a mentor. This is something that's how you work, and it doesn't go, you start now and in 2 weeks you're a leader. It takes time, and you won't maybe see how you're changing, but everybody else will see it around you. And then success comes when you put your patient first policy, put your patient first, you develop your team, and you work on your digital transformation. Just for lessons learned in implementing this into our system. So does everything go smoothly? Of course not. And you're never finished. It costs money and it costs time. But the thing is that you don't have a choice. And just by being here, not just to get this certificate, but also to learn something, you're already leaders for me. And if you don't implement this way of thinking in your institution, then who will? And if not now, then when? Being a leader is not a position, it's about your action. And something for the end, this is something that's helped me through everything I do. So unless you have 100% customer satisfaction, you must improve. Thank you very much. I'm 49 minutes. I'm sorry about that vodka, but I'm pretty sure.
No worries.
Be on that. Thank you very much.
No worries. Thank you, Ognin. Are there any questions in the chat? So please, people, I don't see any, but do ask, because we have this now a wonderful opportunity to chat with Ognin. I will say that the presentation is really so comprehensive that maybe it can be a little bit difficult to ask questions. There were some times I said, I'm going to ask this, and then the next slide, Ognin already addressed it. So thank you, Ognin, again for this. If there are no questions, I will ask a couple, and that is, a lot of people here in the audience, they're really at the beginning of their careers. So they are PhD students or early career professionals in the hospitals. And you said, to start, you have to work for yourself, but you will have to, you also said you have to make some choices, that meaning that some aspects of working of yourself maybe you will emphasize, and then some you will drop. So what would be your I would say advice for early career professionals, so people who are not yet in a leadership position but they're really looking at the career that will lead them in that direction?
Okay, so find a boss that is a leader. If he's not, then find a great mentor. So I have a mentor for 4 years now, and really it helps me. If I go above the earth, he always lowers me down and tells me, you're not all that. So also read a lot, not just for your something that you study, but something that's interesting you as well. So I always say that I listen to more than 55, 60 books a year. I I read 10 of them, but I listen to 55, 60 books every year. So I use Audible. I think I'm their VIP client. So this is something that helps me to understand. So just to understand, so by reading or listening 5 books in one area, you're an expert. So if you want to grow, read, listen, get a mentor, and then when you get better, then you mentor others. And this is something that helped me to grow and also be patient. Work a lot, work on yourself, but be patient. So even if you don't see results will come if you never quit. So this is something.
All right, thank you again. I don't see any questions. So Ognin, I will thank you so much for this.
We have presents for if anybody asks a question, I have a present.
So okay, there is an incentive. So if you don't want to type in the chat, just raise your hand or just jump in. So
That's great. That's great. I'll be listening to the rest of the panel. Looking forward to this.
Okay.
Thank
All
you
right.
for
All right.
inviting me.
Ognian, thank you. Thank you so much. And if you can listen and also join us, please, join us again. I might call on you more, a little bit
Thank
more.
you.
Now that I know
you.
that you are staying. All right. So what we are going to do, we are not going to, so we are maybe a little bit, 10 minutes. We broke the schedule, but it doesn't matter. Like I mentioned, for our panel, unfortunately, Vlatko Boric will not be able to join us. So we will be actually in time to do this networking discussion and to have the panel and really finish by 4 p.m. like we planned. So I do want us to have this networking discussion. This is a big group now. There is 67 of us, for what I can see in the Zoom, and what we will have is then a chance to really join small groups and discuss. And let me show you what I had in mind. So let me just again share the screen. Sorry. Share screen, and I need to find the right slide. All right. Okay. So basically, what we are going to do is that we are going to split into breakout rooms, and we will have there will be 3 to 4 people in each breakout rooms. It will be a random split. So and you will see who you end up with. So the idea is to introduce yourself to your colleagues, to say a little bit about yourself, to hear what they have to say about their what they're working on, where they're coming from, and then to come, together and to discuss. And we have a specific question, and the question is really in your opinion. So you have heard the opinion from Ognian, and you have heard our keynote. But in your opinion, what are the main qualities of a good leader? And when you type the answers, you please use the Menti application. So what you can see is the, sorry, that doesn't work. Go back. So you can see the code. So there is a code that if you go to www.menti.com, the code, or you can follow this link, and Anna Branca, my colleague, will put everything into the chat. So you will have this in the chat. Please copy it now, because I'm not sure that you will see it when you move to breakout room. So please take a note of this code, and take a note of, or alternatively, of this link. And that will be an opportunity for and then answer this question. So in the Menti, you have three choices or 3 phrases that you type in. So one person from the group comes and types in. It can be a single word, it can be a phrase. So with that in mind, okay, let's split. Anna Branca will split us all into the breakout rooms. I hope you have copied the Menti code for yourself, and that you have recorded it, so you can join the Menti application. All right, let's go. Let's split, and we'll be back in 5 minutes. This is basically the word cloud from all your answers, and these are really amazing answers. So let's take a look at them together and see what really stands out. And one of the things that stands out is leading by example, something that Ognian mentioned and that you all agree. So that's definitely there. A good listener is something else that's really standing out. Realistic. Supportive, there is empathy there. Empathy is really one of the things. Knowledge, so yes, they need to be knowledgeable about flexibility. So there is always this balance, I think, between what can be done. And I think the other ones are really there as well, because one of the things that I know there is discussing, and this is there is a decision making. So there is a can make decision, determination, And I would say there was decisiveness somewhere there. So there is this part as well, which probably falls into the realistic part. So, you know, being able to care for your team, to care for your people, but also being able to take on the realities of what's the external environment throwing at the team, and then adjust to that. So is there anybody who wants to jump in and comment a little bit, if it's if you would like to, on this word cloud now when you see it all together? All right. Okay, if not, then we will move on. Thank you so much, you guys, for your taking part of this exercise. It really, you know, it really is helpful to see what are these choices that are standing out, and they're very, very obvious. You know, we have them in the middle. So empathy, realism, leading by example is there, and this is going to be part of the so like the theme or you know the questions or the discussions that we are going to have in this final part of the of our webinar, of our session. So we like I mentioned, we originally planned to have 3 panelists with you. We have 2, but this is this will also give us more opportunity to ask them more questions. So with us, we have 2 people. So we have Masha Safunjic-Kutuk. She's a R&D director from the Adrian-Dolensky laboratories. And we have Maria Lovrich. She's the CEO, but also a Science and Technology Officer from the Biocenter, which is a local biotech incubator. And I will not tell you more about them the way I did about Ognian, because actually the first stage of the presentation is for them to tell you more about themselves. And then after that, we will follow up with questions. So for this panel, we will only have 2 short presentations, or about 5-6 minutes, and then a lot of time for questions. So please, you know, all these questions that you wanted to ask, but you couldn't, please ask them now. Ognian is still with us. So Ognian is also there. So if you remember any other questions that you want to ask of him as well, I will ask him to join the discussion as well. Please go ahead. So who wants to go first? Masha, would you like to go first?
Actually, I had an inspection up to 5 minutes ago. So maybe Maria, if you could do the honors, please, just that I get a little bit into the mood.
I don't know what is going
outside of the inspection and in creative.
I don't know what is going on today. I had an inspection as well.
Oh my God, my only argument.
Yeah, you missed it, but no problem.
Okay, thanks.
All right.
Maybe mine was during the morning, so I have maybe half an hour more than you.
Okay,
To
thanks.
get relaxed. Okay.
Okay, Maria, you go ahead then.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Is everything fine? Do you see my presentation?
Not yet. We see you, but we don't see the presentation.
We don't see the presentation. Sorry, I was completely sure that everything is fine. You see me, but you don't see the presentation. Share screen number 2. Share. Okay.
We see.
You see something like that. Okay. From beginning now.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
All right.
So good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon to my colleague Masha, as well as you, Latka, and to all of your participants and speakers. I'm really happy that we can connect in this way, even though I would be much happier that we could meet all of you in person. This is the 4th time for me to participate on the winter school, and every year is even more growing and developing event. And really, I'm so happy because of that. Compliments to all the organization and for having willingness for not stopping all these periods of time. and particularly during these very, very challenging times. So my name is Maria Lovrich, and currently I'm at the position as Chief Executive Officer and Chief Science and Technology Officer at Biocenter. But as Vlatka said, I would like to briefly introduce you to myself. So I was born 43 years ago in Zagreb. I had really extended educational path. I have finished the University of Zagreb Faculty of Natural Sciences and obtained my Master of Science in Chemistry and also a PhD in Chemistry. So after that, my educational path went to more related to pharmacy, to pharmaceutical industry, to science, and I continued my scientific way to obtain this scientific associate title that I have obtained in biomedicine and health area at the Faculty of Pharmacy and Biochemistry. Also, with all the things that Ognjen mentioned in this, I would say, learning and then learning by example, but also reading, writing, and trying to get more involved and get knowledge to be successful in your work. I'm currently attending the Kotruli Business School, so my graduation is expected to be at January of 2022. So I will finish this executive MBA course. That is something that really hopefully will help me in the further development and to be better as a leader, but also as the manager in my company. So I have mentioned you what is my current work position, but how everything started. Everything started from the beginning and from the scratch. So as I said, I graduated in 2002. Next year will be 20 years after I have graduated. As I said, I wanted to do something new. I wanted to be involved in something innovative that I would like to furtherly develop. So I got the opportunity to do my Master of Science at the Faculty of Science and in collaboration with Ruđer Bošković Institute in agreement with the Department of Organic Chemistry at the Faculty of Natural Science. So I was working on these 4 types of molecule that were really interesting, but not so easy to obtain. I got basic and also improved knowledge in organic chemistry, analytical chemistry, learned how to find and search for the scientific literature, to read patent documentation and literature, to get the idea how the new compounds could be progressed and prepared. So this, I would say, education and training pathways moved me to go further, and I did my PhD and finished it also within the chemistry. This doctoral thesis was made at the Croatian pharmaceutical company, Belupo Pharmaceuticals and Cosmetics, and also this, I would say, BioMed part was done at Josip Juraj Strossmayer University of Osijek at Faculty of Medicine. I did my PhD on synthesis and biological evaluation of novel bioaerial compounds. So with respect and in I would say much different structure than I was doing on my Master of Science. I was dealing with 35 new compounds that's supposed to have some interesting biological behavior. I test everything on cells and trying to figure out what is the connection and relation with the structure and this affinity of the molecules and compounds. So this is just to show that my path really started and was deeply involved and related to the chemistry. to do organic chemistry, to do medicinal chemistry and analytical chemistry. So my Master of Science was done on complete, I would say, scientific institute, but this PhD was done in pharma industry, since I had this feeling that this is something that I would like to do for the rest of my life. But really life is so surprising that you never know when you're going to go and when it's going to leave you, in which direction and move forward. So I really extensively use this word as an informal education. I was working as assistant at the faculty. I did several internal but also external secondments during my work at one European project, about which I will tell you just a few sentences about it later. I did many case studies, also used the opportunity to go on meetings, conferences, trainings, workshops, something that really could be called as an informal education. I was interested in journals, so I was working at one radio station, preparing radio. I was hosting the shows. Also, I was really deeply involved in NGO organization, and also this, I would say, from my knowledge and from my background, also the revision and project evaluation. So I used every opportunity to grow, to develop the level of new knowledge that could be reachable in every possible direction that you could imagine. So all of this was related to education, but also very important is to mention how this all, I would say, developed me as a personality, and also the employee that started to become a leader, that finally became a manager and CEO of the company. I started my professional work experience in environmental protection company. I was responsible for planning, writing, reviewing, reporting of different documentation that is related to the environmental protection. I thought, okay, this is so many papers, but I would like to go back to my basic education. I would like to be chemist. I would like to be involved in all these new compounds and what usefuls of those molecules could be achieved. So I moved to pharma industry and spent there more than 12 years. On different areas, but most of it was related to R&D, research and development, by doing the retrosynthesis analysis of molecules, preparing the new compounds, optimizing these reactions, discovering new ways of synthesis of the active pharmaceutical ingredients. This was all done in Belupo. But if, for example, in Genera and also in Belupo, I was involved in regulatory affairs, that is the preparation of the dossiers, of the compounds, and all, I would say, very, very useful knowledge that was reached through the R&D. I was really good in combining in this preparation of the documentation of the compounds, of the molecules that currently and finalized to be drugs on the market. So Genera, Belupo, Galapagos, all related, and part of the GSK group was related to the R&D and Regulatory Affairs department. As I mentioned, also I was employed by the University of Zagreb at one EU FP7 project called Lovrich. I had responsibility to develop in development of the innovative biodegradable materials that's supposed to be combined with the stem cells and be applied in the brain regeneration. So this was really fantastic because chemistry involved in BioMed area was something really useful, moved me back to the science. and opened me to collaborate with really internationalized teams, and enabled me to live for a while outside of Croatia. I spent several months living in Prague, in Czech Republic, and also in Portugal. And finally, I joined the Biocenter in April 2019 as a Chief Science and Technology Officer, prior to becoming the Chief Executive Officer in May. So why Biocenter? Because Biocenter is the Croatian's Bioscience Technology Incubation Center, and it's first of this kind in Croatia, and is established to provide the infrastructure and service necessary for growth and development of the early stage biotech companies, and to build a collaborative network between scientific institutions, academia, industry, and also the individuals in the field. So just a few sentences. This is the Biocenter. We are placed in Zagreb at Borongaj's campus, University campus in Zagreb and Borongaj. We have been established 6 years ago, and I would say that this position enabled me to combine all the knowledge and all my work experience, whether it was related to the science or to pharma industry. It's sounds like combined in this big pot, and is used every day on several levels. So not many things to say, just these 5 programs in which we are working on: biofacility, incubation, transfer. We have 5 different laboratories. We offer lab space. We provide the incubation procedure of the new companies that are coming to our site. We have organized more education programs for the groups and individuals. So everything that is related to our lab staff is also possible to be done. We have this fantastic central laboratory, 5 laboratories put in place to work on the progress from the, I would say, upstreaming to process, to purification of the molecules, to quality control, but also characterization and functional assays in cell culture lab. We are gaining more and more experience into fields of biologics and biosimilar molecules, but sometimes this is just service like the QC and characterization, and we really like to have this, I would say, whole development process from the idea to the preparation to the functional analysis of the molecules, and the networking part as well. So I'm responsible for running all these programs, and all of my employees are divided in the particular departments to cover all these topics and very interesting things in which we are related to. And now something about upfront, I would say, topics. My work-life balance, that's me and my husband. We are living in a happy marriage. This is the photo took yesterday at national team and football match in Split. So although we have very demanding and stressful jobs, we really try to find some time for just us, but also to enjoy life, because life is not just working. Life is complete picture. And also we have 2 kids, 2 daughters, 15 and 12 years. They have their own interests, sports, activities that also needs to be fulfilled, and there's expectation about us. So it's really important to try to cover it all. It's very difficult, it's very complex, but we are trying. Since we are live, we need to try, we need to fight to find the best possible options. And also to find some time just for myself, to think, to stop and to try to figure out how to go further. I think that this is all from me for now. And thank you all for your attention. And thank you for your patience. And I think that Masha is ready to go.
Actually, I'm not sure. After your presentation, my CV seems so uninspiring. Okay.
Masha, you go ahead. Masha, go ahead.
Okay.
Maria, thank you for putting a work-life balance on the slide up front. That was one of my questions, but you know, it's good to bring it at the beginning. It's very, very important point. Okay, Masha, go ahead.
Okay, just that I see how to share because I'm here. Share screen. Okay, we are going in those direction, and I hope that you see my presentation now.
Yes. Yes.
So thank you once again. Thank you, Maria, for your presentation. It's always nice to work with Maria and with you, Vlatka. For me, this is the third winter school, and I'm always happy to answer your invitation. So my name is Masha Safunjic-Kučuk. I'm the R&D director from JGL Croatia in Rijeka. JGL is a generic company. We produce generic medicines and medical devices. And in development, we are focused on sterile solutions, nanoemulsions, and suspensions. Also, we develop some dermatological products. I finished my education in 2003 at the Faculty of Chemical Engineering of Zagreb, and right away I got my job at JGL. My first idea was not to work in pharma. I wanted to work something more creative, something in arts or something like that, but I also wanted to return to Rijeka. So I was always more interested in practical application of research and science. So I got that by getting a job in pharma, and in research and development department of JGL, I got this combination to have science, but also application in real life, and to be able to see a product that you have worked on coming to life and on the market. At the start of my career, I started to work in stability department and a little bit in analytical development. Then I became a manager of stability department. And then in 2016, I became the R&D director. In course of those years, I have been a member of the project development team for 15 products. Some of them are shown here in this JGL journey, because we really started small. In 1991, we developed some niche medicines that were lacking at the Croatian market at that time, but later on we focused more on Eastern Europe and Russia as markets. And in 1999, we had our very popular product, Aquamaris. Somebody would say it's just C in the bottle, but it's technologically not so simple to make it. Then in 2009, we had our first generic that was first generic on the market, Latanox eye drops. And in 2011, our product Meralis is an example of value-added generics where we combined seawater and generic product and had a breakthrough on the market. And in 2016, we had a similar product on the market, but not so big in numbers. And in this year, we had our second product that is the first generic on the market, clindamycin phosphate and benzoyl peroxide gel. And this was a very, very hard, and each of these products is something more added and more complex in the development. So this journey, although my professional journey was in one company, it was very different because every product gives you an opportunity to learn something new and test your knowledge. For me, I had to make, I made a decision between managerial and professional positions. If you go into corporate world, usually they have two or three groups of jobs. But let's say you go to pharma and you go to a corporation. You will see a managerial group of jobs from which is expected, from which is accepted to create and implement company strategy through managing of some functional or process area and management of people. You make, as a manager, you make decisions that have impact on the strategy and the economic success of the company. But usually you work the most with people. Professional group of jobs, you don't manage people, but you manage processes, and you generate added value for the company, and you have impact for the company strategy. And this type of jobs require knowledge and expert competencies. You can have one and the other depending on the company, and you can also make changes in your career if you want like that. But it's a little bit more structured in a corporate world. Also, Vlatka suggested that I had some thoughts about what it means to be a leader for me. And today there is a quite big distinction between leadership and management. They both are needed to accomplish a goal, to mobilize resources, and to explain a vision. But to manage people is not the same to lead them. And I'm happy to see that when you answered what are characteristics and competencies of a leader, there are quite few the same things as it's my vision of a leader. And those competencies that I see that are important are that the leader needs to have strong ethics and these high ethical and moral standards, and a leader needs to ensure that the teams feels psychologically safe. That means that the feedback can be given, that you can have a free discussion of your ideas, that you can implement and suggest your ideas and get an honest feedback on them. A leader promotes self-organizing teams. A leader doesn't micromanage. If you have a boss that micromanages you, that boss is not a leader. And also a leader needs to clearly communicate expectation, that is set goals in a long time, mostly in the long time. Short-term goals could be seen as micromanagement sometimes. Also, you want to be in a team where you have flexibility to change opinions and where you can grow and learn new things. And that is also your leader, your boss, leader or manager, how you want to call it, that is committed, he or she committed on the ongoing training of the team. And also to inspire connection and belonging. This is for me very, very important, that I'm in the team that has free communication, open communication, a team that it's open to new ideas and approaches, where you can have safety for trial and error, and where every member of the team can grow, and we succeed or we fail together. I'm not sure whether I can say that I'm a leader. I think that my people should answer that question. And as the second thing that I wanted to address is that work and life balance. It's hard, as Maria said, it's not always easy. And it's very personal and individual. What's acceptable to me may not be acceptable to you. I think that only within your family you need to have the same understanding what's work-life balance, and that you have some sort of agreement with them. I would say, please look Nigel Marsh's TED Talk. I cannot add a thing on that TED Talk. Now I think it's 10 years old or something like that, but it's very interesting. There is a link on my presentation, but you can also just write Nigel Marsh TED Talk. It will be the #1 in the search box. And he said all the things that I see that everybody needs to think when they're assessing whether they have work-life balance. The first thing is that you cannot leave to the company or the government to solve that issue. It's your responsibility of the type of the life you lead, and that you cannot, you don't need, no, it's best that you don't put that quality of the life in the hands of other people. Also, we need a honest debate. Certain jobs and career choices are incompatible with being fully engaged on a day-to-day basis with a young family. Sometimes you will need to make sacrifices. But it's also very important to be careful on the time frame you choose upon which you judge your balance. Maybe not to look a day-to-day basis, look at a week or a month or something like that. And also the third thing that he said, small things matter. And it's very important that you go, I don't know, that you find ways where you can decompensate from the work that you have a support system, friends or family or something like that, and that you have some fun times. But once again, that is very individual, and you need to see what's important for you. And the third thing that I wanted to address is what I think it's very important to inspire innovation for when working in team. And today is very popular to talk about agile way of doing things and thinking, but it's really the best environment and most stimulative for innovation. And we are in R&D in JGL at this very moment very involved into discussion what being agile means and doing agile, what that means. So we decided to make some sort of agile manifesto for JGL R&D. And we said that for us, it means that we favor people and collaboration over processes and tools, that we want to produce compliant products over comprehensive documentation, to focus on customer collaboration over contract negotiation, that we want to focus on responding to change over to following a plan, and that we want to empower all employees to make decisions. And this is a type of team that I want to work in, and this is the type of team that I want to have around me. So if something like this is important to you, you need to see whether the qualities of the working environment is something similar to that, and decide whether this is the right place for you. So, well, that would be my last slide. We have also, like Maria, some part of the company presentation with nice pictures of us being on the meeting. And that would be my last slide. And now we can have a panel, Vlatka, because I'm finished.
All right. Thank you so much, Masha. I am completely with you. And in terms of, there are some jobs that, because of its, focus on the product, it really changes every time with each product. So it's very dynamic, even though, in theory, the company stays the same. So I understand this completely. I would also You know, I will maybe ask you to unshare your screen so we can
Yes,
have.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
You're trying, sorry. So we
Oh
can
my-
have a discussion mode. And also thank you for sharing work-life balance. I think one of the things that you really said, this is the support group. So having people around you who can support you, that is very, very important.
Yes. How can I remove a spotlight in my presentation, please?
I'm
Can
not
you
sure. So
stop video? Okay.
yeah.
No.
So you have to go to stop. Okay.
I found it. Okay.
All right. Okay. All right. I think we are good. Maria, your camera is off, I think. So if you can, yeah. All right. So we are all here. I'm going to ask all of you guys in the audience, guys and ladies. You know, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit. I spent some time in the United States. Shows. I'm sorry. You know, when I speak. So all of you in the audience, please, you know, join in, ask questions. This is a great opportunity. To really discuss something with two, I would say, very, you know, distinguished is maybe the wrong word, but really amazing professionals and amazing managers. And if they are too modest, they don't want to say they are leaders, I'm going to say yes, they they definitely are leaders. So do use this opportunity to you know, to ask them very, very specific questions that you might have. I am going to start, so to break the ice. So you know, maybe to go back to Maria and because you have had different experiences, and then you said they all came back to Biocenter, and so what were some of the, I would say, what was your major decision point to really switch from pharma and really what is a regulatory career? So this is very detail oriented, strict, procedural, to going to this innovation support, which is the opposite, I would say, in some way. So can you comment a little bit on that?
Okay, no problem. Well, I'm a person that really likes challenges, and I'm taking all the possible opportunities to, I would say, challenge myself, my boundaries, my limits. When this position appeared, I really thought that this kind of institution needs someone that has the knowledge of R&D procedure, that has the knowledge of working in science, in scientific institution, and that can be really an added value to the institution that is establishing, that is coming from the beginning, that has some points where it's supposed to go, but it's not definitive as well. So I was thinking, how can I help? Or if I can help, or is this for me? I was thinking a lot, and then just decided, okay, I will send my papers, I will send my CV and documentation, let's see. So what can I lose? Just to not get this job, but okay, I won't get this job. I have a permanent position, and this one is not. So I'm also taking a huge risk to leave the, I would say, safety of the big pharma industry that is really well organized, that has its own rule, that I was following fantastically. I was a piece of a puzzle that had an effect, and everything was going smoothly. And I was thinking maybe this feelings and these rules and the established behavior are good to be introduced in some system that is establishing and doesn't know in which direction it's going to go. So I was thinking, like, I'm here the experience, I will learn a lot, and let's see. And this was good choice for me, but I hope also for our owners and for my teams as well, because we are progressing in making more steps further we are working the science, but also as a CRO. And if you are working as a CRO, you cannot think like a scientist that you have every time in your life to think about the idea. You need to be focused, you need to be fast, you need to work in time, with money, you need to earn this money, you need to transform the idea into concrete commercial product. So it is something really related, and it's lean on my previous experience.
Okay, thank you. And I think, yes, so you mentioned another very important point. This is risk taking. So you are taking a very, a personal risk as well. So this was your decision at that point. So we are all rooting for, for the Biocenter, for, and I know it's a difficult balance. So there is this balance that you really, to have innovation, you have to have creativity at the beginning, but then you have to have discipline to actually bring it to the market. And you need to balance both. And it can, sometimes it's not easy. In terms of personalities and people and everybody who is involved. So Masha, I have also your question. I think you showed, and this is really good, point that you made, that in corporate environments you do have these different tracks of careers, and you said it was a personal decision. So can you maybe just tell us a little bit more how, what made you make this decision? Did you try managing team and said that this is something that you liked, or that you were really good at, or was it the other way around? You were thrown in a situation, and so can you can you take us back and say, when did you make the decision and what influenced it?
Actually, I made that decision in stability because I saw that I like to make processes work, how to make job more, how to make things to go smoother, easier, faster, something like that, and not to go into very much detail for every study that we were going on. To be honest, I miss a little bit of that now, and now I'm trying to go back. So it's just that you need to be honest sometimes for yourself. And also before, it was very difficult to advance if you weren't going up the hierarchy. But now the things have changed, and you can also advance in the expert positions. I think that in all companies, they have seen that those professional positions are the ones that are creating additional value, not managers. So now you can really have your scientific position also in the company, and to say the sky is the limit, but it is only just how you will make your job as appealing as possible. So it's possible to change. Well, I work in a company there where you can change your approach and your position. Maybe in some other companies not so possible, but maybe then it's not the right company for the people that want to change opinions. But and sometimes you are thrown into some situations, and as Maria said, you need to take some risks. And what do you have to lose?
Yeah.
You have your education and your knowledge and your expertise, and you will find another position if that one doesn't work for you.
Okay. Yes, absolutely. And this is also that it's that to keep sort of experimenting, but I would say in a strategic manner. So experimenting, but really trying new things, but really also having sort of end game and goal in sight to see how it goes. We have talked a little bit, and this difference between leadership and management, and that's, I think, important. And I would say a question for both of you. So do you informal leaders. So whether that was your own experience, that you were sometimes in a situation where you didn't have the management role, but you need to, take, I would say, take this informal leadership, or something that you have seen in other people, what would you give an advice? Again, we are talking now here with the audience, we have a young, really early career researchers, so people who are not yet in a formally management positions, but may find themselves in this informal leadership roles. What would be your advice for them? How to approach, this switch from just thinking about your own projects to motivating other people, to really engaging other people with this idea of a common goal. So Maria, if you can again maybe start first, and then Masha will jump in after that.
Well, I was, I would say, the employee 18 years. So I know how to be, work for somebody else. I think that this is something, maybe leadership can be learned, definitely, but this is something that you have in yourself, that you feel that something is missing if you're not fulfilled completely. Therefore, maybe I have done some changes in my life just to find out the appropriate position in which I will be not completely, you cannot be ever and ever forever completely satisfied, but that will fulfill my needs, expectation, and all the knowledge that will come to the right place. So to be leader in every position and in every I would say institution or the company is to doing small steps and small but remarkable in the other way steps to move forward, to be a team player, somebody that is taking chances to improve the situations, to establish some innovations, even in incremental, to move forward, to be organizational structure, to run the team when the others are falling down, to be positive, to give yourself, to be also the patient, very patient with respect to the team members in which you are involved in. And to go, just to move forward, so it's really not important whether you are employed by somebody or you are working in your, I would say, I don't know, exercise team, or you're going on hiking, then you feel that you need to progress, but not be pushy, not be strict. Everything can be done in really positive and I would say honest way for yourself, but also for the teams. I don't know whether I missed or not.
No, this is fine. Actually, I will ask one follow-up question before I switch to Masha, and then after that we will go towards the close, because we are getting to 4 p.m. And that is because you mentioned, can it be learned, and how much did your MBA help you?
It really did, and it's still helping. I think that all this knowledge that I didn't have the opportunity to learn while I was working in the pharma or in science, and particularly we didn't have these informations and knowledge given at my formal education, particularly since I'm a chemist that was put in the situation of management. I learned a lot about marketing, financials, accounting, even these leadership, communication skills are developing there. So it's something that was maybe for somebody, he had an opportunity to learn it during the education, but it's definitely an added value that giving me, a level of understanding the others in the different competencies and backgrounds. Since I need to prepare the budget, I need to prepare the financial statement with help of my team and my accountant, but I need to understand these things. I have never seen it or need to prepare it before in every experience of mine. So it opened me and got me opportunity to meet many different people from different areas, but also to extend the knowledge to the limits that really sky's the limits in every topic of the situation. So science is one thing, and the business and really understanding of the backgrounds that is going above it, it's really something completely new.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you so much, Masha. I will ask you to a little bit follow up on this, and then we, at the end, when we finish, we have actually a question in the chat, which is an amazing question to end with. But first, if you can comment a little bit of this in sort of informal leadership, so young career researchers or young career professionals, how can they, join, or how can they? Yeah,
they just need to lead by example. You cannot expect that anybody. You need to be an example. It's so you cannot expect that people work long hours if you don't work long hours. That people do additional studies and read literature if you don't read literature. So for me, would be that the main point, and the second is to have listening skills and compassion for people, and to also do not be afraid if somebody is better than you. Let that motivate you to be better, but in a good way. That good competence, it's when you have good people around you, they should motivate you to be even better and to give better things. And as a follow up to Maria, that additional knowledge, it's so important, because a lot of times when you go into some scientific field, you don't see that marketing potential, marketing knowledge, accountant and everything. And it's so important to have at least some sort of informal understanding of the concept about, I don't know, marketing or something like that.
Thank you, Masha, and thank you, Ognjen. I see that you put a comment in the chat. If you can turn your camera on as well, because we have a question in the chat, and I would like this maybe to be our final round. So if you can join this final round as well and comment. So the question from the chat is, would you say in today holistic approaches in science and work, which is more dominant, competition or cooperation? So this is the question, and so please, go ahead, Maria, Masha, and Ognjen, if you would like to answer.
I would say cooperation, definitely, and it's so important that you cooperate, because two people know more than one, or how that. So definitely cooperation for me.
Yeah, it's really important to look in the same direction, not to be competent to anybody's thoughts. Yeah, I agree. Competition, definitely.
All right. And I see that Ognjen left us, so we will not single him out anymore. So it was his final message. So thank you both. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Masha. Thank you for joining us. Thank you really for sharing your experience. This is, and I can see all the thank you notes in the chat as well. So this was really helpful to our audience, to early career professionals, and I really do hope, and I'm sure actually that we will see each other, very soon. There are other activities coming, and with that, I will like to end this session. To really again thank you, but also thank all the other members of the audience for being with us here. For listening for this for the leadership webinar, and I do wish you the successful winter school. So the winter school is continuing with more webinars and then workshops coming tomorrow and in the next week. All right.